Hello viewers and welcome to the eSeniors GT3 Championship for the Group 3 races taking place at Zolder. So as I mentioned yesterday, there's been a few changes with a set of Corsa Competizione.
Group 3 races.
Oh, someone's got the background noise on there. They've got introduced a new car, which is the BMW. You will see some racers racing in that car today, so it'll be interesting to see where they fare. The new tyre models causing a challenge, as the tyres are going to burn out quite easily if you get it wrong. And there's also been rumours of cars receiving lots and lots of punctures. So I think it's going to be an interesting race to observe today, just to see how people manage the tyres and the track. With me today, I've got Jeremy and I've got Jonathan.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Or good evening.
And we'll just have a quick peek at the table before we go to qualifying, just to see what's going on. So at the moment, very, very close with the top two races at the moment. We've got Don Queen on 489 points. And we've got Stefan Buckley on 481 points. Now, Stefan, I believe, is taking a penalty because he's going to go into the BMW. So that realistically means he's going to go down to 440. Believe it or not, he's still in third place with that penalty. So it does mean Richard McKay does move up. So I think it's someone today's going to hopefully change that table around significantly. We do also have a very good turnout. 24 drivers on track. I think this is the highest we've had in the Group 3 for a while.
Definitely.
So
definitely.
Everyone's really excited. So what we'll do is we'll go to qualifying. We'll jump on board with Kenneth. Kenneth's been doing some fantastic laps in pre-qualifying, and I will tempt, when he gets his first lap in, to do the corner names. We were just laughing before the stream. I was being challenged by Jonathan to try and name all the corners. If you've ever seen the corners, yes, they're a trial, shall we say. So hopefully I'm going to get them nailed for you. If I do offend anybody from the Zolder track, I apologise in advance. There's no intent made in relation to that. Obviously, if you're from the country of where Zolder is, you can name these perfectly. From my perspective, I'm reading them as they're written down. Interestingly, there's no such corner documented as the Villeneuve chicane, although we know it's there. That's the class, that whole area where Kenneth's going through now, as corner 7. So you've not got a 6, 7 and 8. The whole lot of that is corner 7. So it's a bit of a strange one, that. And I think it's because the track has different layouts on it, and that's the easier run without having the chicane there. So he's just coming round towards the end now, is Kenneth in the Bentley. He's going to get a good run, and I reckon Kenneth will qualify with a 130.2. I reckon that's Group 2 speeds without a shadow of a doubt. And I think we'll see everybody else probably in the 131s from what I've seen already. So he's coming on the start-finish straight.
I'm going to stick my neck out, mate, and I think we've got one person who's going to be well into the low 130s, maybe even the 29s, but I'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay, so he's coming into corner 1, Erst, and then that leads into the long sweeping right-hander, which is referred to as Sterrenwacht Bocht, and that leads into corner 3, which is Canal Bocht. Get the car to the left-hand side, and what you're looking at doing is trying to take this corner as close to the curb as possible to drift the car left, and this is Lucien Bianchi Bocht. Then we've got a little straight. Again, you're looking to brake at the 100-yard marker, or just after, to take the chicane, and this is called the Klein chicane. This is turn 5. So you'll see him brake and come up to this area here, which is Butt. That's corner 6. This is what's known as the Villeneuve chicane, but we don't call it that. We call it Terminal Bocht, and that's corner 7. All 3 corners are referred to as turn 7. It's obviously quite an exaggerated curve, that. Get the car, keep it left here a little bit, cut the corner out as much as possible, and then what you're doing is you're looking to brake hard to the right-hander, which is called Boulderberg Aspeld Bocht, corner 8. Then you're going through Jochen Rind Bocht, little chicane there. Oh, that was very close. And then he goes into the Jackie X Bocht, which is the chicane here. And he's coming towards the end of his lap onto start-finish straight. That's corner 10. And let's see what his time's going to be. Going over the start-finish grid. And he's looking at a 131 flat. So, yeah, he's certainly looking quick there. Let's jump back a little bit to Andreas. So Andreas is 7/10 up at the moment. He's coming through the chicane. So So you can gain a bit of time. It's all about not losing power here and trying to keep your foot flat out. You get the angle into the corner right, you can do that corner flat out very, very easily. And then getting your braking point and the acceleration here is key, so you can get your foot down. And as you can see there, that was brilliant by Andreas. He's 1.1 second up, so he's 32.1. He's going for what's going to be a 131 flat here. So he's going to be putting pressure on Kenneth and Jürgen at the moment. Let's see how he does. Can he gain? Yeah. Oh, he's going to get pole at the moment. This is looking good. Going for a 130. And there it is, a 130.7. So Andreas absolutely flying there. Let's jump back to Jorian. Jorian Woosman is a 132.1 and he's 0.6 up. In fact, I might be able to show you the lap delta. No, let me see if I can get the actual lap time. If I can do that. No, that's not what I want. There you go. Hopefully that's a little bit clearer for you. So this tells you who's doing what at the moment. So you can see there, Stefan Buckley is half a second up. So let's just jump to Stefan Buckley. You can see he's half a second up on a 132.1. He's now 0.8 up. He's coming up to a second. Oh, he lost a bit of time there.
Yeah, and I noticed on his previous lap he lost a lot of time in this next corner in the hairpin. So let's see if he can gain some here.
Yeah, the braking point on that corner's key. You can lose so much time, but equally you can gain so much time. So he's now a second up. So he's going for a 131.1 at the moment. So he's going for third place. Now he could gain a couple of seconds here, a couple of tenths. Sorry, if that car doesn't get in his way. Oh, and it's put him off. Oh, that's put him off that. He's well and truly damaged that car. That was a very good lap. And obviously the car in front getting sideways really upset that. Back with Kenneth. So Kenneth's now got his, well, you can see he's 0.4 up there. And he's on a 131 flat at the moment. So he's going for a 130.6. He's looking like he's going to take Andreas as it stands. Well, I'll tell you what, that's close for the two guys, you know, Andreas and Kenneth. And Andreas is going quicker as well. Just sliding the car into the corner there. He needs to get the power down soon. He's 0.6 up. He's lost time there. He's 0.5 up. He's going for a 130.5. 130.4. Andreas is 0.2 up.
P2.
At the moment. So he's going for a 130.5. This is going to be very, very close. We'll come to the chat in a minute, guys, and we'll say hi to everybody in the chat. Just obviously just keeping a bit of focus on the qualification at the moment. Just see all the movers and shakers. Yeah, he's 0.3 up now, Andreas. Looking really, really good. This will put him in pole. And Kenneth's lost his previous lap. He was looking relatively good, but he's lost the time now. He was 0.2 up. But Kenneth will go again now. He's just lost a bit of time there, Andreas. This is going to be very close for pole. Very, very close for pole position. Oh, he's 0.5. Can he get the good drive out the corner?
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, 130 point. We're looking at a 130.2. There you go, 130.1. What a lap. So, this is going to get really interesting. So, who can we jump on board with now? So, let's go with Andy Skelton. Andy Skelton's half a second up. A 131.9. So, he's looking at a 131.3. This will put him in third place if Andy Skelton can keep this lap together. That's a nice corner around there. He's lost a tenth there. He's lost a bit more, actually. He needs to try and get another couple of tenths back in under braking here if he can. Get the car round and then get the power down nice and early without disturbing the curbs. Yeah, he's 0.5. Yeah, he's lost. He's going to be about 0.3 over the line there. He's going for a 131.6. That'll still put him in fifth place. And there it is, fifth place for Andy Skelton. Right, Kenneth's going quicker again. Kenneth 0.3 up, 0.4 up. Well, let's jump on board with Nikos.
And Stefan is back on track. He just started his fast lap, and after the first turn, he's already a third of a second up. So,
yeah,
you know, this guy is going to be mad at that last lap that he crashed at the last turn because of the back marker. But so this is a guy. I think this is a really good talking point here, guys, because Stefan, he's been in the Lambo this whole time, and now the BM has come out, and he's sitting in the BMW, and I can tell you for sure that he's capable of getting in the 29s. Okay, he is. I've seen it. He's coming down to that Villeneuve chicane, and he's 0.6 up on his fastest lap. And I'll stick my neck out here, right here. Anyway, on the broadcast, and I think he's going to win this. He's got such amazing consistency, especially with this car, and he's comfortable in it. And that's something that we couldn't say with the Lambo, because the Lambo's a beast, but it's so difficult to get around this tight circuit. Yeah. So he's come around that second from last corner. He's 0.7 up now.
Yeah. Incidentally, Nikos is now third. He's in third place.
Yes,
wow.
he is.
With a 131 flat. It was indeed.
Amazing lap.
So he's 5.
Yeah, this race is going to be played by smart drivers. Smart drivers. What I mean by that is that people who will learn how to manage the curbs and their tires, because I think the new physics put more emphasis on the way you drive than before. So it's a lot less unforgiving now.
Jeremy, let's talk about that for a second, because obviously, we had the update, and I actually think that there's something broken with the game now, and that is with the tire model with when it comes to those punctures. So this morning, I was out racing. I did one single lap, and I got a puncture. I only did one lap. So here we are. We've got a whole hour of racing.
That's right.
I think everyone is going to have a problem. Everyone.
I think so. I think we're going to see. We're going to be surprised today.
And by the way, so we have 2 BMWs on circuit. So we have Stefan Buckley, and I want to welcome back from the booth. I want to welcome back Mr. Willie, basically back to the fray, and he's in the other BMW.
Yeah,
Mr. Willie Owens.
Second that. Welcome back, Willie. I will say though, with the tyres, I was racing earlier on, and if you steal the curbs, you'll lose your tyres. You've got to treat the track now with more respect than previously. If you keep to the track and don't steal the curbs, you will finish no problem. It's when you go ragged and you start riding the curbs, they will just tear your tyres apart, and they'll start losing pressure. 2 or 3 corners, you'll go from 27 PSI, you'll be into 24s, and then basically you're skating on the track, and that's when you know it's game over. So
Mr. Buckley, P3.
Yep.
Very nice.
And he's going faster still. Oh, and he just went off.
So Rob Upia is just wrote undrivable the Aston. So he's having a hard time with the update.
And well, I mean,
personally, I think the Aston is almost the same it was.
Yeah.
Maybe a little looser in front, but
I second
nothing drastic.
I jumped into the Aston. To be fair, I don't think I'd raced the Aston at Zolder ever before. So from my perspective, I was losing nothing. My previous best was in the Ferrari, I think it was, which is a 131.8. And I jumped into the Aston at Zolder with the new update, not knowing anything different. And to me, I was thinking, I don't know what the fuss is all about. Now, that might just be me. And I did beat my previous best from the Ferrari time. So, I think it's horses for courses. It's where people have got used to a setup and a style of racing that you've now got to adjust and change.
Well, think about how this has changed, though, like both the way that you drive and also like the tire model and everything since we were last at Zolder with the GT3, because I believe it was maybe race 2 or race 3 in our first season. Is that right, Jeremy?
Yes, I believe so. You're right.
Yeah, and it was horrible. I remember absolutely hating this track simply because I was trying to drive as fast as possible and I was just going slower and slower. It was awful.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. This is the, I think I said this yesterday, when you do the career mode, this is the first track you ever race on. And it's one of them where you think, God, if the game's about this track, it's quite an off-putter, to think that the tracks are like this. But to be fair, as you get better and better at racing, you realise actually how technically good this track is. Not every race should be as straight with a corner. From a technical track perspective, this first corner coming up after the straight isn't as easy as it looks, and you've got to learn how to get the car balanced so you don't drift wide and onto the sand. But equally, you've then got to get the car to the left hand side and repeat the same in the next corner. So from a technical perspective, this track is very clever.
Yes, you're always working. You're always working, and it really asks a lot of concentration from you. And an hour race is a long time to stay concentrated on this track, especially if you're fighting someone else. It's going to be
Absolutely.
very, very interesting to see what happens.
Okay, let's jump to the chat. So, hi Steve, hi Terry T, hi Kai, hi Ollie, hi Natty, hi Paul, hi Peter, hi Chris. Let's see what's people are typing. This is going to be good. Picking up Don and Stefano. Depends on who gets through turn 1 first. Been following both of them around this week, and they are hard to pass.
Hello, everyone.
Have a look. Having a look. It's been fine in the time. Are they using controllers? Chris is saying put the wheel on, which I did eventually. Controller and sitting on the hood. Don't tell you know how to drive people. Yeah, sitting on the hood. Yeah, brilliant. We've got Frank Tennant. Hi, Frank. We've got Jaime. Hi, Jaime. Good showing tonight. Hi, Ricard. Ricard Weston here. Hi, Derek. And hi, Melvin. Evening from a sleety and wet Devon. Yeah, we've got a weather warning for heavy snow shortly, so I'm quite looking forward to that. Anyway. 3 minutes left of qualifying to go.
It is snowing right now in Montreal.
It's 75 degrees in San Diego, so I enjoy the sunshine for you guys. I'm sitting here in my shorts.
That's just wrong. That's wrong on so many levels. That is.
So Stefan is on another fast lap. He's 0.2 ahead, but he really needs to. He needs another almost a half a second in order to get up to P3.
Yeah, I mean Kenneth's looking quick, but he can't seem to get that lap together in one go. So yeah, I think Stefan's hit his limit here, hasn't he? A little bit. He's got to 131 flat again. Let's jump forward to Kenneth. So Kenneth's 2/10 up, as we can see there, and he's 2.5 tenths behind Andreas. He's now 3/10. So Kenneth isn't giving this one up. He's looking like he wants to go into the 129s. Oh, he's very loose through there. He's fighting with the car. And Stefan and Peter have just had an incident and are coming together.
Yeah,
so look at how he's taking the corner.
That's the end of Stefan's qualifying, that's for sure.
It is, yeah. So,
but he'll be happy with P4, I think.
Kenneth's 4/10 up here. You can see how loose his car is because he's fighting with it through the chicane then. It's so loose.
To win this race, you're first going to have to survive that first lap.
He's half a second up, or he's lost. He was looking great into that corner, then he's losing all his time now as he's coming down this little bit towards the end. Yeah, he's lost it all. He lost 7/10. He scrubbed 7/10 up in the last 2 bends alone. Wow. Oh, he's gained a 10th there. Oh, 2/10. A 1:30.2. And he's still got enough time to put another lap in. Is he going to get another lap in? He's going deep there. Oh, he's still fighting with that car. Right, let's go across to Savage.
See, that's what I find. The difference in the physics is I find the cars now slide a little more forward. Which is very interesting.
Just going too deep, mate. I mean, and something that I'm seeing from a lot of these folks is that they're not really looking at the apex of the corner. You know, you got to brake, you got to look at the apex of the corner and turn and literally aim for it. And I'm seeing folks, they're looking, I can literally tell they're looking on the other side of the track. That's why they're ending up going wide.
Yeah, they're almost planning the next corner, aren't they? Rather than trying to deal with the corner they're doing.
Yeah,
yeah, you're right, because you can just see the way they're trying to overcorrect into the following corner. So, Big Natty said it's 36 degrees in Cincinnati.
Nice.
That's freezing.
I just want to give a shout out to our sponsors of ACC TV. PWS Clean Equipment, preciouswashers.co.uk. If you're in the market for some cleaning equipment for your garden, for your car, for your commercial properties, look these guys up. They've got some fantastic deals in there, and they will give discounts for eSeniors members. So big shout out there to PWS. So we're coming to the end of qualifying now. There's a lot of drivers looking like they're really fighting with the car, or is it just me?
Yeah, it's a case of like getting desperate now, really trying hard, just basically trying too hard. It's like I was saying earlier on. You know, this does not reward you in lap time if you're aggressive. It just doesn't.
Right, we'll be back shortly for the start. Okay, a quick grid walk to see who the movers and shakers are. In pole position, we have the number 300 Mercedes of Andreas Pettersson, closely followed within a tenth of a second of Kenneth Lingham in the Bentley. We've then got Jorgen Pedersen, who's still getting a lot out of that Honda. Absolutely fantastic. And then we have the first of the beefy BMWs. There it is. The BMW driven by Stefan Buckley. We then have Nikos Margaritis in the Aston Martin. And we have Jurien Woostman in the 425 Porsche. We then have Sven Weibusch in the first of the McLarens. And we have Don Queen in his usual liveried Ferrari. Next on the grid, we have Richard McKay in the Gulf liveried Porsche. And we have Philippe Sauvage in the Ferrari. Then closely followed by Andy Skelton in the Lexus. And Ian McFarland in the number 42 Porsche. We then have John Wilson in the Castrol Silk Cut McLaren. And Billy Stewart in the other Ferrari. David Blythe in the Lest We Forget Aston Martin. And we have Kevin Torrance in the Jaguar. Great qualification in the Jaguar there. We have Willie Owens. Welcome back, Willie, in the other BMW that's on track. Oh, someone's just gone out of the pits. Brian Banks in the Porsche. We then have Peter Miles also in the Porsche. And we have Eric Langlois in the Bentley, followed up by Luc Dedoy in the sparkly liveried Porsche. And then we have Manuel Souza in the green Bentley. We have Uwe Weibusch in the white Porsche. And then at the back we have Rob Houpier in the Aston Martin. And Jeremy Zastin will disappear into the pits. So let's see how this goes. Just a quick hi to Peter LaFrance, who I've noticed has joined as well. Welcome, Peter. I hope you're sat down, drinking and ready for this to go, because this is really going to be an interesting race, I think it's fair to say. Getting out in front could be critical here, but if you push too early, you will kill your tyres, and they will go off because the left front just cooks.
Yeah, I mean, watch the front row here, because Andreas was really competitive in the GT4s the other day, you know, challenging for third position. And between him and Kenneth, it's going to be a brilliant first corner.
It is. Absolutely brilliant. Chris is saying the golf clubhouse is open. As you're aware, when the game crashed the other day, Chris had gone playing golf, as I think a few other drivers are. That was absolutely a spectacle to watch that.
Green light, sure.
Interesting. Did anybody see what Andreas was doing there? Kenneth's off. Wow. Kenneth's flying. And we have a clean start.
Queen with Nikos.
Oh, yeah. Incident there. A bit of rubbing. Oh, and Don Queen as well there with Skelton.
Oh, he gave him a squeeze, didn't he?
Yeah, dead. A bit of a tight squeeze there.
See what happens into the first chicane here.
Billy's
This is
getting a bit
always
loose.
gonna be the
Uwe's
dodgy
going onto the
spot.
sand. Yeah, getting to the chicane's key. Everyone's made it through the chicane. Let's carry on. Have we got anyone? And the Sven's going for a flyer. What a move. Sven got 3 cars on that straight then. David
They're
Blythe's
all
had
over the
contact with
curbs in
somebody.
the chicane. Really, really scary with that. I mean, I'm looking at the top 3. They were all over those curbs, and the likelihood of them getting punctures is just outrageous here.
So something's happened with Rob there. I mean, Rob did say he's having difficulty with the car. So it did say there's an incident with him, but I can't work out who it was. So I'm going to jump straight back to the front because Andreas is putting pressure straight away on Kenneth. These two are so closely matched. And actually, they're both in the what I class as the brute cars. You know, the Mercedes and the Bentley, they're the brutes, aren't they? They ride the curbs brilliantly in ACC.
Yeah, I completely scratch my head as how those cars manage to ride the curbs here so well. They literally just go straight over them. It's crazy. No other cars can deal with the curbs in the same way.
There's a few changes there. Andy Skelton's made a pass on Ian. Billy Stewart's made a pass on Sven. So a couple of quick passes going on. Willie's looking very racy at the back. He was putting a bit of a run on Sousa. Yeah, there's still a lot of. I tell you what, there's a lot of racing going to go on in this race, I feel. Nikos just getting onto the grass there. Just wants to be careful on this track. He's lost traction now. This is going to get hairy. Oh, touching. Oh, that's strike 1. That will be a track warning for sure. Nikos, without a shadow of a doubt there. Because I think if you cut any of that corner, it's a given. You will get. Ooh, yeah, I think Paul's just said in the chat, actually, the way they're taking them curbs, the tyres are going to die. They're so aggressive early on. You need to get pressure into the tyres at least to lose pressure. Otherwise, you're going to be running around on flats. Kenneth's pulled away. Oh, what a dive up the inside! What a move!
Wow. Nice.
Ian with a great move there, and Billy Stewart looked like he was going to go for the same. You can see Don's getting quite racy now. There's a lot of action going on here. We've got the McLaren, and we've got look at the still cars battling close to each other here. Anything could happen. Getting a good run. Oh, what? The Aston's got a great run on the McLaren there. Stefan Buckley's caught up with Andreas. I'm just keeping an eye on that. Oh, one of the Porsches gone wide. Sven's gone off. Ooh, they've just managed to keep it together and going. Let's jump forward a little bit. So we got the Porsche and the Ferrari battling, and the McLaren coming up the rear. Don's pulled away now, so Don's going for somebody else. And Andy Skelton has got a great run.
Andreas Pedersen just spun off.
He has indeed.
Stefan Buckley's P2.
Yep. I think he hit one of those sausage curbs on that first chicane, and it on the exit, and it totally threw him off, unfortunately.
Yeah, Andy Skelton made a cracking pass on him at Farthing and all that. And we've had Sven's gone off. Sven Weibusch is off through the chicane, so he's obviously tried to bury the throttle, and he's just actually overran the car, and he's losing loads of time now. Wow, all kicking off. So where's that put Andreas? So Andreas hopefully hasn't damaged his car.
Yeah, I don't think he damaged it. I think it was just like a harmless spin. I mean, obviously not 100% harmless because he lost, three places.
Yeah, the
But
Porsche.
now we have this it's a kind of a fascinating battle really between Stefan in this new BMW against Kenneth, who is inching ahead. He is pulling ahead. But then, of course, we've got a pit stop to come, so this is going to be very interesting.
And Andy Skelton's now past Nikos.
Yeah, passing Nikos.
Andy Skelton's on an absolute flyer here. It looks like Nikos might be losing another player. Oh, he's gone very deep though, Skelton. Very deep.
Yeah.
Oh, Don Queen come across. Billy there, was it?
Oh, yeah.
He's just off. He took that was contact with Billy there. Oh, it's hard to keep up with all this. So
I know. What no mirrors? What no mirrors, eh?
Predicted it was going to be a very eventful race, and here it is.
Yeah, we're only 5 minutes in, mate.
I know.
It's but
oh,
get your beer out.
Nikos has gone deep.
Oh dear, yep. Oh, he's coming across him.
Yeah, Nikos went deep into that corner then. Just outbraked himself a little bit into the chicane. And there's been more
Going
contact.
again. And
Hold on, there's been an incident to the back here.
Oh dear,
okay.
yep.
Yeah, well.
Let's have a look what's going on here.
And there,
All right.
we saw the 21 go straight over the chicane.
Hold on, I've got a... Come on, come back to me. I've lost everything at the moment. Come on. Oh. Yeah. I can't show you, unfortunately, what I'm seeing because something's happened to... there you go, I've got it back. Bit missed that one. Sorry about that, people. Basically, I think... Oh! Langlois gone off. Oh, big one.
Nasty.
That's a big one. That's a very big one.
And coming down the main straight, we've got Ian McFarland is challenging Nikos. And Nikos, and this last lap, and Nikos is going a little wide, but this last lap he went straight over the Villeneuve chicane, and there's absolutely no doubt that he got a track cut warning for that. So I'm curious to see
There's
where
cars
he
going
is.
off everywhere here.
They're all over the place, mate.
Oh, that's a bad one. That's a
bad
bad one.
Me. Yeah.
The only thing
right.
that in the meantime, Kenneth has a 4-second lead right now.
It's like a demolition derby, isn't it?
It's the problem is I don't know where to look.
Oh, and there again, Nikos has gone over the first chicane. He rode those curbs, and I am assuming now that he has at least two, if not three, track warnings going on.
He will get away with them last two. Problem is he's going to kill his tyres, and I know because I did that once before, and my tyres went, only hitting it once. I think we're going to see Nikos starting to understeer at some point. Or he's going to have to really slow it down quickly, which makes him a sitting duck under braking. You can see even his wings damaged on the left-hand side there. So he's obviously had contact with somebody quite close on. That Porsche has got a good run here, hasn't it? Look at that Porsche.
Is he going to send it? Nope.
Oh, he's gone
a
deep
little
though.
wide.
Oh, that Porsche is sliding. He's kept it. He's kept it. What a save! What a save!
See, that was another classic example of not looking at the apex and aiming for the apex. You know.
And Pettersson's off. He's going to have to let all the cars past here unless he can get going. Oh, he's lost another place to Philippe Sauvage. And there goes... yeah.
That's our pole sitter right there.
And they're all passing him coming down. So he's over-rotated into the curb there. Yeah, he's going to have to get going again now. He's lost quite a few places there as Andreas. He's got it all to do. And we've got David Blythe putting pressure on John Wilson now. He's going on the outside. Oh, that was close. That was contact. See, now that's a track limits, that. How much he stole of that curb. Billy Stewart's now past Andreas. Andreas has gone deep again. I don't know if Andreas has done something to his tyres. He's really struggling now. Ian's really putting pressure on Nikos. I think this is where we're going to see the action in a minute. Von Queen has now passed Andreas. Andreas is going down the grid. He's 10 places down from his start already. Billy's there stealing a lot of curb. He wants to be careful. We've still got a good 20-odd minutes to go before we go into the pits.
Challenging Nikos again. He showed the nose going into turn one, but then decided it wasn't a good idea, and he's slotted in behind him again.
Yeah, David Blythe did get past John Wilson.
Fast. Oh, he almost hit him going into turn two there. What was going on there?
Seems very quick in the Porsche in certain parts, doesn't he?
Yeah, especially turn 2 through 4. He's very, very quick. He lost momentum there because he had to brake in avoidance. But if he can just place his car properly relative to Nikos, he's going to be able to get by him.
Nikos is
he just needs to choose a slightly different line. Yeah, I saw that. He had all four wheels off the ground.
He's absolutely launching it. And Andreas is off.
Oh, no, Ian's off. Ian is off coming into Villeneuve. Yep.
So's Andreas. Andreas is off again.
And then he stopped. Oh no, he's waiting
He's
for
waiting for the safe return.
entry. Yep. Good bloke. Good job, mate.
My word.
It's all happening, isn't it?
Billy Stewart's putting pressure on Skelton. So Skelton now is going to try and run down Nikos if he can. But he's now looking in his mirrors because he's got the Ferrari sat there. So back to the chat. Let's pray the servers don't crash. Absolutely.
I like Derek's comment, actually. I think we need to add some rain to this.
Yeah, to calm him down. Got Owen 0501.
That'll calm him down.
Yeah, it certainly would calm him down. You're right there.
And interestingly, Willie Owens on his return in the BMW, he's up to P14.
Yeah, very nice.
He's doing really well.
Yes.
Not only that, he's on Mr. Wilson's tailpipes. He's like less than half a second behind him.
He is. He's really putting pressure on. We've got Volker Vibush. Hi, Volker. Welcome back to the stream. So it looks like Nikos is just starting to pull away a bit now, isn't it? From this pack. So the battle now is between Richard and Don. Richard McKay and Don Queen. Sven Vibush has now passed Kevin. And he's gone wide. He passed him by running too quick through the chicanes there. So that's moved Sven down a little touch. So let's jump on board with Willie Owens and let's see what Willie Owens is doing in the BMW. Let's see how calm his turning and his braking is. So coming up to the next but last sort of bend, if you know what I mean. He's being pressured by Peter behind. Again, Peter's having a good race, keeping up with these. You know, he's keeping racing, braking. That Porsche you can brake late in looking at it. But it's getting the power down. Although Peter's got a cracking drive there. Don't think he's going to get enough.
Yeah.
Don't think he's going to get enough on Willie here, but he got a cracking drive. Willie's took that corner really well. I think Willie's been secretly practicing. He's been secretly practicing to get himself ready to come back.
It's not a secret anymore. Definitely not a secret anymore. But, you know, Peter Miles is all right on his tail, and he's like trying to put some pressure on him. And, you know, Peter's another one of these guys that I race with most evenings here on the West Coast. And what a really nice guy. He's such a pleasant guy to chat to. You know, always a laugh, always a lot of fun, but like just a nice guy and a gentlemanly racer. We have so many of those here. It's we're very, very blessed.
Andreas is putting pressure on Sousa.
Yeah, there's a close battle.
That was close. Whoa! Willie very late under braking there. Over that one, Wilson was very, very keen on the braking early on. But Willie nearly ran straight into his tailpipe there. And there's been contact. I'm trying to gain up with it. Leave it to go to the helicam. Let's do a replay because I'm not sure what's happened there.
Another contact now between Skelton. Skelton was hit by Billy Stewart.
Yeah, I can see that's just come up on the thing. So we've got a contact here between Sousa and Pettersson. Oh dear. Sorry, yeah, that's... Here
goes Peter Miles on Willie.
Oof.
He's got a really good run on the outside going into turn one. He's got the better line, that's for sure.
Yeah,
can he capitalize on it? He's got a better exit as well. Is he going on the outside? He's got his nose ahead into turn two, and yeah, he's got ahead. Nice driving.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So that was Andreas going, unfortunately, into the rear there of Sousa and taking them both out. Melvin's saying Willie's in VR now.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about VR, I know we've had these conversations before, and that thing about being in VR is you can really look and aim for those apexes. I mean, you look for the apex before you even turn into the corner. It is an advantage, and all the top guys are driving in VR. So Willie will be in Group 2 next season. Hey, this rate.
He's doing good. And Kenneth pulling away lap after lap after lap. Now 9 seconds ahead of Stefan.
And Stefan's 9 seconds ahead of Jorgen. See there, one of the Porsches just gone wide of Richard McKay. That's going to give Andy Skelton and Ian McFarland a chance now to pull up towards him. Billy Stewart is putting pressure back on Nikos. So we'll have a. I'm watching the times and I'm watching the gap. We'll have a quick rundown of the grid at the moment. So leading it by 10 seconds is Kenneth Lingham, who qualified in second with a great time. He's followed by Stefan Buckley, who's 9 seconds ahead of Jorgen Pedersen. So Stefan's having a great race there. Jorgen is 6 seconds in front of Julian Woosterman. So he's got quite a quiet race actually. Sometimes that's harder than you think because you don't feel like you're racing anybody, and therefore you're probably not as aggressive into the corners. It could also mean he saves his tyres as well. So Joe Ryan is 6.8 seconds ahead of Philippe Sauvage. So again, another good run here from Joe Ryan. And Philippe Sauvage is doing a fantastic job in 5th place in the Ferrari. He's 11 seconds clear of Nikos there. So Philip's looking really, really strong. But needs a couple of mistakes up front. He's going to get a podium. So Nikos is...
Yes, we have a first stop and go. Uwe Bush.
Yep.
Okay, Uwe Bush is obviously track limits, abused track limits a little bit there. Nikos is just in front. Luke's gone off at the back. Billy Stewart is 2 seconds in front of Don Queen. I do think Don Queen's closing that gap up as well. There's been contact with Sven Weibusch and Kevin Torrance further back. Richard McKay and Andy Skelton's now managed to pass Ian McFarlane. And we've still got another gaggle of cars going on here. Just watch this. I will revert back to where I was a minute ago, just in case there's any further passing going on. We've got 5 cars in shot there, all battling for what is, in effect, 11th position. Fantastic racing.
You would think they're racing for the win. I mean, really.
Yeah. That Porsche is looking racy at the back. That Porsche is looking very racy behind her. That's Peter Miles, isn't it? Behind John Wilson there. Well, they're all very tidy through there, I must say. That was extremely tidy. So back to where we were. So Richard McKay is behind Don Queen by 1.5 seconds. Andy Skelton's 2.5 seconds behind. That could be a track limit to that. Oh, and we've got a car off. David Blythe went wide. And it caused contact with John Wilson. Now, I'm just going to go to a replay because I don't know whether that was as a result of a bit of contact coming in here. I don't know whether John Wilson just braked a little late and just tapped David Blythe and caused him to spin, or whether David Blythe spun and it caused John Wilson to hit him. No, so it's exactly the same as the move before with Andreas Pettersson. So Wilson there is unfortunately responsible for that move, and that allows Willie to go up the middle of the pair of them. So at least John Wilson waited and give him the place back. So John Wilson, Richard McKay's off, and that's now give Don Queen a bit of breathing space. So Peter Miles is just behind Andy Skelton. Whoa, looks like he was going to hit Andy Skelton then, to be honest. And then 2.8 seconds with the gap decreasing is Willie Owens. Are we seeing Willie rejuvenated after his break and coming back looking more like the Hunter? And then behind that 2.5 seconds we've got David Blythe, and he's now stretching his legs from John Wilson, so I don't know if there's contact that caused damage to the front of John Wilson's car. And you can see in the distance 5 seconds behind Sven Weibusch. Behind that 2.5 seconds behind we've got Brian Banks. We've got a close race with Rob and Kevin. Now, Kevin went off before in the Jaguar, and it looks like Rob has managed to tame the Aston, so he's running quite well now. Then behind, 7.4 seconds behind Kevin, we've got Luke. It looks like he's running well now. And then Andreas is 6 seconds behind that. So Andreas is really, Andreas is 20 positions down from his start position. Souza is 1 lap down now. Obviously, he's still behind Pettersson, but he's 1 lap down. And there's been a change. Peter Miles has passed Skelton. But Skelton is the first one for the pits.
Yes.
So Andy Skelton's thinking, right, stay, I'm going for the pits. So he's going for a long stint. Now, he broke late there. Has he sped? He really struggled getting the car to stop. Be interesting to see how he comes out the pits here. So he looks like he's the owner. Luke's coming into the pits as well. So we've got 2 cars currently coming into the pits. So what I'll do is I'll show you the pits so you can see who's actually carried out as doing their pit stop. So Ian's putting pressure on Richard. Porsche v Porsche. And Nikos is off. Oh! Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Wow.
whoa. Let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at that. It's... I'm trying to work out what happened there. So
He was either trying to get out of the way, or he was trying to block.
So Nikos has ridden the curbs and they've bit him.
But when he came back on the track, he was either trying to get out of the way of Don, or I want to say he was trying to get out of the way off of the racing line.
I think if you watch that, Don's on the left, so Nikos goes to the right, but Don then went to the right, and I think it was too late. I think that's Don's race over.
You know what? You know the sad thing about that was it was very reminiscent of 1982.
Shipment.
Oh yeah, I think Don's had enough here, isn't he?
Don's
Yeah,
done.
Don had a terrible race. I think it's the 3rd or 4th time he has a contact with another car.
I'm just going to see if I can get the hood on. See what his steering inputs are.
His car is seriously damaged.
You can see there how much of a problem he's got.
Yeah, the steering is completely busted.
Yeah.
That contact's caused a major problem there. Well, his saving grace, it's not a saving grace, is he's got the pits, but he's going to be in a long time. Ian McFarlane's
yeah, but you
off.
know what? This is still, we're halfway through. We're not even halfway through the race, are we?
No, we're
No,
not.
we're not.
And he's gonna make his pit stop, right? And he could still get much better points than if he were just sitting in the pits. So if he comes out and carries on racing.
So sure.
And you pointed out he's had a run of bad results, so he can't afford to have more throwaway races. He needs to finish this race.
I think the dilemma Nikos had there, I think he saw Don and thought, I'm going to get out of the way. But he probably didn't indicate. And as you know, you don't change lanes, do you? We've said that.
Don was committed. Don was completely committed to going the other way, and he was flat. And the difference in speed, the speed differential was just crazy.
It is. I mean, I think...
Wait, something happened to Stephen Buckley. He has a damaged front of the car. He's now in the pits. Something happened to Stefan.
Where is he? Stefan Buckley.
He's in the pits.
Yeah, I can see that.
He has severe damage to the front of the car.
I've not seen him go off. Nikos is off. He's decided he wants to go to the beach. Or go to the water. That's a big off.
Very big off. He's way off. Brought his bucket and spade. So I think Stefan just came into the pits for tyres. He made his pit stop because it was not a long pit stop.
No, that's right.
If it was for damage, he either hasn't had the damage fixed, or
not wrong with that car. There's not wrong with that car. Yeah, that's fine.
Where did that damage from?
No, there's no damage on it at all.
He doesn't have a flappy bonnet. He's good.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah,
Jeremy, he's done his pit stop in the normal time. His pit stop times are in sync with a normal pit stop. So he's had no damage to repair. That could have just been a graphical glitch, that.
Unless he has it unchecked for repairing damage.
No, it doesn't, because it got repaired.
It did get repaired.
When he was sitting in the pits, you could see the front end was completely scratched off. So my guess is that he did lose the car somewhere.
Right, okay.
Because look, it's in P14.
Well,
He
let's
was in
see where he
P2.
comes out, though. Yeah, he was in P2, but nobody else has pitted. He's the first of the leaders to pit.
I know.
So let's see where he comes out,
Yeah, let's
because
see.
he was probably like what 10 or 12 seconds behind Kenneth.
I
So
I
let's
believe
see where we are at the end of the pit stop.
I will
routine.
say, Jeremy, I'm with the chat here. The front of that BMW looks ugly anyway, so you can't tell whether it's damaged or not.
So true.
That's one thing BMW are getting worse at, developing the front end of a car. It just looks so awful. Stefan's off again now. He's running well. Hi, Lee Ellis. Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, question for you guys. So, look, I think we're all pretty good racers, and we know how to race this circuit. Turn 1, are you in third gear? Are you going down to third, or are you going down to second gear? Because almost all of these guys, I'm seeing them change down to second gear, and I'm always in third, and second gear is just way too slow.
I think it's down to the angle.
Gear as well.
Yeah, I think it's down to the angle you take the corner at. If you look at the angle they're taking it at, they're taking it a bit more severe. Whereas if you take it as a loop, you can maintain more speed.
Well, this is just I'm talking about turn 1,
yeah,
which is all about momentum.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if they're taking it on the narrow side on the inside, they're going to have to bring the car slower to get the car to ground. So if we stick on board here with John Wilson, you'll see what I mean. He takes the angle of the corner quite narrow, as opposed to taking it as a drift around the corner where you can maintain more speed. Well, that looks fine. I'd say that.
Yeah, I mean, you should be in third gear.
I mean, let's see what.
Yeah, Derek says third. Ollie says third. Andy says third. Paul third.
Now Andreas has done it in second.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of these guys doing it in second gear, and it's slower. There's no doubt.
Well, the thing is, you can trail brake in those turns 1, 2, and 3, but it's not as obvious with the update, I find.
Yeah, I think some of them are saying it depends on the car.
And Jorgen is in the pits.
He is.
As is Mr. Westman.
Yeah, Paul Moore's just saying if he goes round in third, he's going to the beach. Lexus is second. Chris Bourne saying. Second in, third out. Frank Tennant staying. It's funny because I do second in, third out, but I don't put it in second early on. I leave it till late to keep the momentum in the car, and the second just allows me to get the car balanced and stable with the acceleration out.
It's interesting to hear what everyone does. I mean, obviously, and I'm not saying that anyone is right or wrong, but when who is going slow here? Luke was going slow.
Yeah, Luke's going slow. He's got whites. He's going again. Bob Hupé's going slow as well. Yeah, he's blue flagged. That's why. But Willie's not pitted yet, but Willie's now up into 6th place. Kenneth is still flying as it stands. Philip Savage hasn't pitted.
P2.
So we've got 30 minutes to go. We're halfway into the race now, more or less. Wow. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
What's to see is that we didn't see any drive-throughs so far,
No.
although we've seen car cutting the track.
There was. I've got a stop and go cleared here for car 117.
Yeah,
That
there's plenty of time for that.
Oh,
Plenty of time.
oh, which is car 117? Hold on a minute.
Was that in the pits?
I'm just having a look. I thought it was. I'm trying to work out what car it is. It's not very clear. Stop and go cleared. Lap 9. It's saying 117. I don't have a 117. I can't work out who that is. Don't know. I can't work it out. I thought one of the Vibushes had got a stop and go before.
What was one of the Vibushes?
Yeah, so that must be it. Now where's
we've only got one left though.
Yeah,
I
think Uwe was 117. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why we can't find him. He's gone.
We're down a Vibush.
Kevin Torrance is off. Oh, he's going slow. I think he's let a car pass there. He's showing that it's going slow. So the commentator's curse. This is when it all went pear-shaped last night. Andy got a puncher. Andy Skelton. Apparently. So that's a bit of a shame. Yeah, the curbs. Oh, bit
Stefan
deep
just went
there.
off.
Yeah, a bit deep there. Eric Langlois had contact. Yeah, I think there's a lesson here. Don't ride the curbs because the game is not going to forgive you. Yeah. Really need to be careful. As I said, when I was testing before, because I did a tyre test for the full 60 minutes, the first stint, I was really clear of not to hit the curbs. I had no issues at all. And then on the lap I was coming into the pits, I pushed and I hit the curbs. And guess what I got? Pressure loss. So, you know, it goes to show if you do respect the curbs, you'll keep the pressure in your tyres and you'll keep your pace. Because losing pressure in a couple of tyres, you'll lose a second a lap easily.
It's interesting, though, because when you do get that pressure loss, you normally get 2 or 3 laps before it does have like a serious effect on your lap times.
It depends. If it's not much pressure loss, you can get a bit of pressure back in and you'll be okay. It's when you get consistent pressure loss. I mean, I on my second stint, I hit the curb 3 times and my tyres went down from the mid-27s down to 24.5. Well, you're not going to go anywhere with that, are you? So Andreas is trying to unlap himself here.
So we only have 5 people left to pit, and actually Salvage is just coming out of the pits right now.
Yeah. The Savage is 7th place coming out the pits. Tell you what, that's looking pretty damn good.
But Stefan is now, he's the leader of the pit stop race, basically. He's currently in P4 with the 3 people ahead of him yet to pit. So this is going to be pretty interesting to see what happens.
We have a stop and go.
Yep.
John Wilson.
9:06, stop and go. Is that speeding?
It might be. Did he just come out of the pits?
I don't think he did.
No, I don't think. I think it's track cutting.
Oh, back to Savage. He's just overcooked it. He's pushed on cold tyres. And that's the other thing to be aware of, isn't it? You come out of the pits with your cold tyres and you carry on racing like you were racing earlier. Oh, that's lost him a couple of places, that now. So Brian Banks is now pitting. Oh, there's a bit of a...
Lindholm is in the pits.
What's that BMW doing there?
What happened?
BMW at the entrance to the pits.
Yeah, I think he escaped to the pit stop.
Right, okay.
He did. Yeah. Oh, actually, he's gone.
What?
He disappeared from the server.
Who did?
Willie Owens.
No, he's not. He's
He
there.
just quit.
Oh, he's quit, yeah. Yeah, he's gone.
He
Willie's
quit.
gone.
He disappeared.
Yeah, he's gone.
I don't know why.
He seemed to pull into the... I wonder if he hasn't done a pit strategy and didn't realise it was a pit race.
Maybe.
And was getting
Either
no
way,
fuel.
we got Buckley is P3.
He is, yeah.
Wow.
And Torrance is still to pit. And as we know, Torrance does it very, very late. Tell you what, that Jag sounds all right, actually. Just listen to the Jag's engine there. It sounds quite nice. Oh, are we going to see Torrance coming into the pits on this lap?
And it looks like did Kenneth pit?
Yes, he just came out of the pits.
Yep.
So Kevin's got another 2 laps to pit. And Stefan's going to pass him on merit anyway here.
Yeah, it looks like he's signalling. Kevin is signalling for him to pass him.
He's got his indicator on, which is good. Yep. So that's one of the other debates we had, wasn't it, in the past? Do you put your left indicator on or your right indicator on? And he put his right indicator on to indicate to pass to the right. Remember we had a discussion, didn't we, in the chat a while ago, And some people said you put your indicator on to indicate where to pass, and some say I put my indicator on to tell you where I'm going. So it's really confusing.
That mean we need to use our indicators to signal where we're going to overtake? Because it's all getting a little bit too gentlemanly for me, mate.
So Willie's in the chat. Hi, Willie. He's saying he said he did not pit after I took tyres and fuel. No idea. Shame, really.
Oh. Nico's got to stop and go.
Right, so Nikos has cut the corners because he pitted ages ago.
What's the gap between the two leaders? 25 seconds.
5
wow.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an eternity.
Yeah, something happened to Stefan. I know something happened. We missed it.
Yeah, it's an eternity, Jonathan, unless you get a puncher, mate.
That's true. It's a pit stop, isn't it? Well, it's a pit stop and some.
It is. And there's Kevin Torrance going for the pits. He's the last one to carry out his pit stop. Right, well, let's see where the action's at. It's all gone a little bit quiet now as the pit stop seems to have segregated everyone away and split them up on track. So we've got a couple of close... Oh, I was going to say someone's passing, but it's due to the pits. Well, Peter Miles is putting pressure and has passed Billy Stewart. Peter Miles is having a fantastic race. Wow. And is Peter Miles going to get Kevin as well and therefore gain another position? Hi, Nikos.
Oh, Nikos has gone off again. No, it's Andreas. I'm sorry. Same colour car. But no, Andreas has gone off and the car is now a complete mess. I'm sure he's done.
Nikos is in the chat.
Yeah.
Nikos quit the server.
Trying to work, yeah. So Savage is
Savage and Billy Stewart, very close.
They're having a good battle here. Oh, that Ferrari's got a cracking run up the inside there. The traction on the red Ferrari was much better than the Billy Stewart's Ferrari.
Beautiful maneuver there.
So now Savage has got his tyres up.
Another stop and go for Kevin Torrance.
86 pit lane speeding, yep. And Ian McFarlane's off. He's just got going again, so I don't know who's letting a back marker past actually. Yeah, it's the last thing you want. You've just done a pit stop and you've got to do it again, innit? Yeah, so it's getting quite easy now, this for Kenneth and Stefan, isn't it? And in fact, you could say that the first 5 are looking really comfortable, at least, even the first 6. But only takes one incident, as we all know. One riding of the curb too many, launching the car, and your race can go from first to last in a split second.
It's very interesting to notice how close they were during qualifying. And look at the gaps now. They're pretty important.
Well, with so many incidents, it's not really a surprise, is it? I mean, look, just people going off left and right.
Yeah.
Oof, I'm just on board here with Ian McFarlane. He's half riding the curbs. Really, really riding the curbs. Philip Savage has... Peter Miles has pitted. Peter Miles has pitted. What's all that about?
Yes.
He probably had a puncture, mate. Must have had a puncture. Billy Stewart has also pitted.
He's got to drive. Oh, right. Well, the pit windows...
we're starting to get the punctures, I think.
Yeah, but right.
It's too bad the game doesn't. Too bad we cannot really know what's taking place.
Yeah, it's not really showing us what's going on.
No,
wait, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars in the pits.
Are we sure the game's acknowledging that the pit stops have been carried out? And that's what they're doing, they're going back in?
No, well, I guess we shall find out. I think what we need to do is just assume that they're stopping for tyres.
Pit window is now closed.
Well, pit window's closed now, so there's no one else going into the pits now.
Yeah, it is closed. So Langlois didn't pit.
Did he not?
No.
So he's now. See, I've got Langlois here showing as a pit stop. So he's not carried out a legitimate pit stop.
No, that's right.
Right,
He didn't clear
interesting.
his pit stop.
Interesting. Wilson's just getting himself running again now. Just trying to assess what's going on the screen, because there's a lot of massive gaps now.
And the gap between the top two is now just extending further. It's now 28 seconds when it was 25 after the pit stops.
Yeah, Kenneth is flying non-stop. I mean, he has found his space and he's very consistent.
In fact, he's doing the back markers, isn't he? Well, let's just ride on board with Kenneth for a bit, admire the view. So at least Don's got back out again.
That's right. P19.
He'll be getting the blue flags in a minute. Yeah, there's the blue flags. And Don's just let him go. He wants to be careful, Don, there, because that could be a track warning.
No kidding.
Yeah, but he completely lifted off.
All right, he might get away with it. Oh, someone's gone wide there in front. Yeah, that's Sven Vibush, isn't it? Who went wide. He's faultless, isn't he, Kenneth? Absolutely faultless. Now he's got over his little cold bout, because he wasn't too well, was he? He's absolutely faultless.
He's almost driving very Peter-like, isn't he? It's all very calm. He's hitting every apex. It's like he's not overdoing it, but he's stretching the gap out, and it doesn't look like he's going particularly quickly, but he clearly is.
His last lap was a 131.4.
Yeah, that Bentley was not affected by the upgrade.
The 131.4. He's the only closest one to him was Joe Rian, who did a 131.9, and Stefan, who did a 132 flat. So he's still half a second quicker than anybody else on track, and he's in race trim.
So, Jeremy, I believe that the Bentley has been affected by the update. All the cars have been affected by the update. So basically, it's a level playing field between the cars. But for sure, you know, the Bentley in like some of the really fast guys' hands, like for example, Carlo's hands, it's slower by at least a second. The Lambo, for me, is slower by a second, and I think that it's reflected all over the place. The only car that is unaffected is that new BMW, which is, I'm sure they're going to have to level the playing field with that with an update coming very soon.
Yeah, I could see a bop appearing for that. Can you?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Eric Langlaw's hit the... people had worried there thinking that was Kenneth. No, it was Eric. And we've got Peter Miles in the pits again. He's just been in the pits.
He has been.
Interesting.
Well, these guys, they're making the same mistake over and over again with the same curb that's giving them a puncture. It's got to be the only thing, you know.
And someone's just got a pit lane speed in fault. So we've had lots of pit lane speed in here. Wow.
So we've got a really good battle going on for 11th between the two guys from the Netherlands whose names I cannot pronounce.
Rob,
so help me with this, guys.
Rob and Luke.
So you've got Rob Houpier and you've got Luke Dedoy.
Let me write that down.
And my parcel finally turned up at Rob's as well. I sent him, he took me graphics card, me 2070, and I posted it. It got to, obviously, Holland, got to customs, and that was it. And apparently it can take 30 days to clear customs, because if anything from the UK, they deliberately delay. Anyway, he messaged me the other day, said, oh, it's turned up. I finally got it.
And this skeleton just spun.
Yeah, he's off.
He's rejoining now.
Yeah. And Rob's off as well. Oh, that's a bit close. Oh.
So it's getting blue flagged.
Yeah, but if you're right, you can't move anywhere else, can you, to be fair?
But then...
Disqualified! We
He's
have a
let he's
disqualification.
let Luke by in doing so, and Ian, I believe, right?
So 88. Hey,
No, Kevin Torrance just got disqualified.
Kevin Torrance. Oh,
Speeding in the
86.
pit lane.
86, yeah. Oh, gets worse for Kevin then. Yeah. Deary me. So he must have gone right. So he's obviously got his speeding alert and not gone into the pits.
That's right.
Oof. So we've got 30 minutes to go. It's looking. I mean, as I said, the three guys up front, actually the first 5, 6 guys, are looking quite calm. Hi, Dimitri.
Hello, Dimitri.
If you haven't already,
Yeah,
guys, can you just like and subscribe if you haven't? Let's get us out there. And I'll just take this opportunity to thank our ACCTV sponsors, PWS Cleaning Equipment, Precious Washers.co.uk. If it wasn't for the likes of them guys, we wouldn't be able to continue to give you this great service. So, you know, give them a thumbs up and continue to like and subscribe. Interesting. Terry T's just said, oh, Andreas' hardware stopped. That's what happened to me last week, Andreas. Terry T's just said there's been a hot fix just come down. Includes several, includes issues, including pit stops. I wonder if that's what's happened to you, Willie. And the pit stops haven't been getting addressed.
That's the 182.
No,
right?
I think it's a new one.
That's a new one already. Since then, I mean, just a few hours ago.
Yeah. Kevin Torrance. Yeah. Kevin Torrance has joined us. Hi, Kevin. I think you had a bit of a nightmare in the end there. Getting the DSQ. Yeah. Tell you what, though, it's been one hell of an exciting race, has to be said. Yeah, Paul Moore's downloading it right now. So come on, guys. There's 26 concurrent viewers. I'm only seeing 20 likes. 6 of you haven't clicked the button. One of them could be me because I've got the stream playing here, but you know, I always do that at some point anyway. No cars in the water, Dimitri, today. No one's playing golf yet. Currently with Kenneth, who's walking. Let's sit on board with. You can see he's not pushing it, Stefan, through the curbs. I don't know if he has got any issues with the tyres, but you can see he seems to be respecting the curbs quite a lot. This curb's all right because it's flat. And there's
It's very interesting, but Stefan Gamble pays off in the end. He's probably going to keep that P2, and even though he's penalized 40 points for switching cars, he will still remain in the top 3.
Yeah, and that I think that's one of them things. I'll tell you what, he's thought about it, hasn't he? He's thought 40 points, and so in effect, the net effect is if he finishes where he finishes, he actually gains 7 points.
That's it.
Yeah.
So that was the right gamble. And, well done.
And because the likes of Don is down in 18th place, he's gonna that penalty he can afford to take. Interesting. Derek says, yeah, he mentioned yesterday, Derek, his wheel died in the cup race. So I think, is there something going on? I mean, mine was before the update last week, but mine all went. Andreas has had a problem. Derek's had a problem. And I'm sure others have had a problem recently as well, where they said the controls have just stopped working. Oh, he's seen something else cause the problem. Oh, he's stealing a bit of curb there. He wants to be careful. That left-hander, sorry, the right-hander, he's really taking a lot of curb. Ian McFarlane's just gone off. He's going again. You can see he's just getting back up to speed again now. I think he took the chicane a bit too quick. There is no racing going on track as it stands. There's cars close together, but they're not actually racing. They're unlapping themselves.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars on like different laps. That we had a train of 3, and they were all on a different lap, but they were almost racing each other. It was kind of cool. It was Peter Miles, Ian McFarland, and I'm not sure who the other and Pedersen.
So Ollie, I'm just interested. You obviously got your wheel sorted. What was your problem, Ollie, in the end? Because you had no force feedback, and now you said you sorted it.
Yeah, and Ollie uses Fanatec.
Yeah, Andreas. So mine last week, my wheel, it just lost all force feedback, and the gears didn't work, and the pedal stopped working. So I lost all control. But when I got to the pits, it all started working again. Okay, so just looking at where we are, I think this race, as it is at the moment, is settled down a little bit.
See, Ollie says there's a driver firmware update. I use Fanatec, and there's no firmware update for me or driver. But he uses the DD1, so it's probably different.
Right. I say I found my wheel was 4 versions out of date on the firmware. I knew nothing about it, so I've updated that now. Do we feel any different with it? Probably not. God, he's going through there very slow, Stefan, isn't he? He could push a lot harder there.
No, he's comfortably in that P2. I mean, at this point, there's no reason to push.
Yeah, 7 minutes to go. I suppose you're right. I was just wondering, though, has he got a tyre problem?
Hope not. The one who doesn't seem to have any problems at all is Kenneth.
Yeah, he's 30 seconds clear. Kenneth's last lap was a 131 flat. Stefan's last lap was a 132 flat.
We haven't seen a 30-second gap in a very long time in races. You know, I remember that, especially in Group 1 with Peter in the beginning of the season. But lately, it's gone. And here we go. Group 3, 30-second gap between P1 and P2. That's huge. But what we should find out, and we will only find out once the race is over, is did Stefan have an incident with the car?
Yeah.
My guess is he did.
Yeah, it sure sounds like it, but it's just a bit strange how it got repaired so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
something happened and we missed it.
Yeah, Dimitri's saying what I was saying before. The M4 is a beast. He thinks it'll be bopped soon as well. I think it'll be bopped because it's very quick.
Andy Skelton just lost the car.
No, Andy Skelton had contact with somebody as well. It looks like Ian McFarlane and Andy Skelton. Luke was close to him, but Ian McFarlane's also had an incident. I'm just trying to think. They were on the same lap.
It's funny with all the updates that have come, which have been like, you know, there's been so many updates. It's a long list, but they still haven't added the simple ability to create favorite servers, have they?
No.
Why haven't they done that?
Yeah,
it's the most simple multiplayer.
I know.
It's not even a feature. You would think it would be obvious, but no.
It's not a priority of theirs, obviously, because other platforms like the F1 is amazing with what they offer with servers.
Right, let's again. There's just no action going on track at the moment. Let's sit on board with Jorian for a bit. Jorian's in the Porsche. Let's see how his lap compares.
Well, Luke de Douai is doing really good. He's P10, and that's going to be a very good result for him today.
It is, because he made a mistake quite early on and lost a few places. I think Luke could have been another 4 or 5 places further up. If I'm being
Tell you what,
brutally
since not
honest.
a whole lot is going on, let's talk about a little bit of historic Formula One. I know we've got a lot of fans out there, and I know Jeremy, Mark, you two are huge fans. Jeremy, you are a Canadian. This track obviously has its very negative connotations because of what happened here in 1982. But
That's right.
what does Gilles Villeneuve mean to you, sir?
He's probably the best Canadian ever driver, in my book. Definitely the best Canadian driver ever, and no one comes close to him today. And I believe his son was just lucky to land in the Williams team. That's all.
Well, he did. He made as much. He made everything out of it that he could, and won a world championship, which I thought was bloody amazing. But what about you, Mark? What does Villeneuve mean to you?
He's of the age where, from my perspective, and bearing in mind I'm a young eSenior compared to some, it was more for me. There was more about concentrating around Jack, and they used to refer back to that racer, really. So I can't really comment on it because I didn't really see him race. I know the history, but obviously from a current perspective, the only Villeneuve I really saw racing was Jack.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I started watching Formula One in 1986, but I read so much about the history of Formula One. There was an amazing biography of Gilles Villeneuve by Gerald Williamson. If any of you ever, want to read about him, it's an amazing biography. Also, there's some fantastic podcasts on F1. So it's called Beyond the Grid, and there's probably 150 different interviews with different Formula One personnel and drivers, both past and present. And there are 2 driver interviews that are particularly good when it comes to talking about Villeneuve. One was with his teammate at Ferrari, Jody Scheckter.
That's right.
Which was an amazing interview. And another one was with Jochen Mass, who was obviously the guy who he accidentally hit in that awful day in 1982. But with that interview with Jochen Mass, right at the very beginning of the interview, he talks about the incident in question with Villeneuve in qualifying. It was very, very touching, but some amazing history to talk about and to learn about for all of you guys listening on the chat, apps on the stream. Amazing stuff.
He was really a spectacular driver, flamboyant. He was truly amazing, and I know he came from snow racing, snowmobile racing.
Yes.
And he had this capacity of driving an F1 like no one before. And that's why I said, to me, he's the best Canadian ever. I've never seen anyone shine as well as him in an F1 since.
Yeah, in his debut was with McLaren at Silverstone, I think 1976 or 77, probably 77. And in practice, he was spinning constantly, spin after spin. And the press asked him, what's going on? You're not very good, are you? And his reply was, no, there's so much runoff here that I'm going over the limit. It's much easier to go over the limit, to find the limit, than it is to build up to the limit and then spin off. So he was very, very smart. But here we are. We're in the last lap, right?
Yeah, who we have is the driver of the day pretty much nailed on with Kenneth, do we think?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Easy.
Yeah,
Kenneth Lingholm.
Yeah, I think we give Luke Dodoy the commentator's curse because he's had a bit of a nightmare since. So, driver of the day, I think there can only be one today. Kenneth Lingholm, absolutely outstanding. He's been on it from the start, and he's been very careful now with the back markers, as you can see. He knows he doesn't need to go for the pass. He's taking it very, very easily. He's just waiting to get round the lap. You can see he's losing time massively to Stefan there. Look at that. He took his time and waited. That's how you do it. No point in pushing and being aggressive even when you're past the back marker. Kenneth there shows us how to do it. I think it's pretty fair to say. Yeah, I think it's fair to say Stefan's won it a couple of weeks actually, I think a few times. I think on this occasion he has been pipped by Kenneth. Stefan just couldn't catch Kenneth at all. So I think Kenneth was definitely driver of the day, but Stefan, to be honest, Stefan, Jory and Jorgen, I think all get a bit of a shout out there because they've had a good race. Savage was doing great. He's had a great battle with Richard, you know, but I think definitely Kenneth deserves it. And the winner
Definitely. And
is
here we go.
Kenneth Lingham. There you go. Bit of a twitch, just to say.
Beautiful.
Well done. Brilliant, Kenneth, that. Absolutely brilliant. And where we got Stefan.
Very good race from Stefan as well.
Very clean race from Stefan.
Yeah.
Especially if he made a mistake and damaged his car early on. That was an outstanding finish considering.
Definitely. And here he comes. P2.
Brilliant, Stefan. We've got Jorian Woosman.
Great job.
Again, a bit of a gap between Stefan and Jorian here. Even on his last lap, Stefan still banged in a 132. There's Jorian, and we've got...
He's got his windshield wipers on as well. Bit odd.
And how does
Hey,
I was going to say, how does Jorgen keep doing it in the Honda? So Richard McKay next.
So you guys, let's have a little preview of tomorrow. So you know you're both race winners in Group 2, and
Yeah.
you know Jeremy, you won last week.
Yeah.
So what's
yeah.
going to happen? How do you guys feel about this track in your cars currently, especially after the update, and what's going to happen tomorrow?
You know, that's a good question. I think it's going to be very close. It's going to be, I think Mark is going to be very fast again. And I'm very curious to find out what's going to happen. Very curious. I'm not yet very comfortable with the Aston the way it is today, but looking forward to the race tomorrow, that's for sure.
Go, go, go.
I just want to thank everyone for watching. If you haven't done yet,
Thank
click
you,
like.
everyone.
That was really entertaining, and just thanks to all the drivers for taking part. And a big shout out to Jeremy and Jonathan for joining me in the commentary booth. And I just want to say,
Thank you.
have a
Thank you, Mark.
good morning, good day, and good evening, depending on where you are. And take care.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye.